the Trucker Brown channel. This interview will be seen first on Patreon. The link will be at the end of the video. It also will be in the description. It's also in the bio of my Instagram, which is at truckerbrown.com. You got an IG, don't you?
I do.
What's your IG?
J Canell.
J Canell. He likes it simple. And you also have a YouTube channel,
J Canell,
which most of them know. But for the people that may not know, this is the big dog himself. This is J Canell. Who do you tell people who you run for? Do they know?
Yeah, it's on my social media stuff.
Okay. Who do you run for?
Bella Floor Nurseries out of Harrisonville, Missouri.
Harrisonville, Missouri. That's where everybody's making the big bucks at.
It helps. It doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck, or you wouldn't be doing it.
That's
right. What are your thoughts on owner-op?
Whenever I'm asked that question, my answer is simple, because you've done a lot of things that I've done. Flatbedding, oil field, right? So I came out of company driving and went to truck moving. Now, truck moving advanced my pay like $30,000 a year.
Really?
Yeah. And then oil field came around. So oil field.
And that was the golden goose.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. And that's what? Owner-op after taxes. 90 grand. Somewhere around there.
Really?
Yeah. So there was no reason, for me to go get a truck and all this other stuff. So that's why I never went. So, and over at Bella Floor, I mean, it was $79,000. So I didn't need as much money because I'd got myself out of debt. So owner-op, if I was to go owner-op, it would be to go back into the oil fields.
Really? What, frac sand?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I hated the frac sand thing.
Well,
they always got stuck on the man-made mountain in Pennsylvania.
That's where I was. Yeah.
You were in Pennsylvania? That's the oil field I was in.
West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania.
That's the West. I was over there out of Kersey, and then they would send us all over. But the place I was working for Bymore.
Okay, I was working for Oakley.
Oakley, okay.
So it up right, was it 80? You know where it splits in there in West Virginia? You can go to Loop. You ever saw that big red building over there on the right hand side, going up that big hill, the big climb? When you're going into what's that damn town?
There's a lot of them over here.
Right off the highway, it's Wheeling.
Wheeling.
When you had those two loop, you had the loop, right loop, left loop. Okay, when you went up that right loop, that big hella climb, you look over to the right, this big damn red barn, big red massive building. Everyone's seen you probably saw it 100 times, didn't even look at it.
Didn't even pay attention to it.
That's where I was. That's where I was stationed out of. And we go all the way around, all over.
You were making all kind of money.
Yeah,
I was doing 27 to 3,100 company.
Right.
Hourly.
I was a 30% company. I worked for an owner-op.
Oh,
so I was
okay.
pulling in 30%.
And I mean, those trucks in the oil field are jacked up, bro.
My guy, my owner-op, ran the shop, so he was just double, triple, quadruple dipping.
Really?
Oh yeah, because he'd run frac sand too, and he had that shop. So Oakley sent all the drivers there to get their stuff fixed. Every week you see the same drivers coming in, get a new transmission, get new springs, new airbags.
Oil field tears the truck up.
Oh, up there it's just disgusting.
Clutches burning, differentials,
everything,
suspension. It was like, I mean, I was running. That's the first time I ever drove a jacked up Cat. It had like 680 horsepower, 18 speed. When I first drove it, I was coming off of a over the road truck, like on some night transportation shit. So I wasn't really prepared for how much kick the thing had.
Man.
And the shifting. Yes. Because I was shifting at 1,400 RPM. They want you to shift at 1,600 RPM.
Yeah, I got out of a lot of nice trucks and went into, what was it, old 94 International. Just a pile of crap. And, I mean, it was a 10-speed, clutch was all burned out already, the prior driver.
Going all the way to the floor?
Oh, God. You couldn't, it's like...
yank it in.
I mean, just powering that thing in, man. And then we got to go up on these hills that I ain't never been on. I ain't never been on these man-made hills that just got there last week. Right?
No fear like a man-made hill. You go to the top of the frac, and then you're going up, and as it turns, you look over, there's no rail.
You can't get off the accelerator. Nice, steady pace.
Exactly. And everybody's behind you like, you better not slow down.
And everybody's screwed up. Everybody's screwed up. Oh, here's a new guy. Fuck everybody up. Sorry if I cuss.
Hey, it's cool. I can believe it.
All right.
Yeah, how do you feel about that new algorithm thing where we can't cuss?
Well, my channel, for the most part, has been non-cussing because I know kids and all this other stuff.
See, I didn't know kids watched us. Why?
Well, a lot of them over the years have been, one, their dad drove. Two, their moms or their dad, their dad drove, and there's something like that. They like the trains, or they like planes, or they like big, shiny, chrome, lovely painted trucks. That big, shiny thing.
So they just fall into watching the channel.
It's like, and I realized that pretty early on. It's like,
I never thought that. I thought that they would have to at least, at the bare minimum, be 18, 19 years old because it's about a career.
Yeah, right. But once you start showing your truck and start doing the horn,
and that's when the kids start paying attention.
Like, oh, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Well, I mean, I've tried to clean it up. I don't know if you see my last, but I see about 15 videos. And it's, man, let me tell you something. It's been hard, man. Yeah, that's why I keep having to bring it back. Because sometimes it kind of takes me away, and I'm like, oh, I can't say that.
I understand.
So you start using freaking and fracking and all that.
Right.
But you know what? It's made me takes more thought for the content. I had to learn how to edit the bleeps out. YouTube likes it. I can tell that from just what they're trying to pay you per video. Like I looked at a video where me and LaShawn was just relaxing. We're just talking, just shooting the shit,
right.
And then I looked at a video that had 2,000 less views, but it had $15 more on it because I didn't cuss.
Right.
Then I was like, shit, because at the end of the day, I like money. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to learn how to stop cussing.
You'll sit there and see your ad rate go from a standard of $4.20. All of a sudden, you're thinking that's going to be the month. I got to. Well, this is my plan. This is what I got to do because it's so low. I got to go do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like you just said, you change your style, and all of a sudden, it's no longer that low ad rate.
Nope.
It's because they want it.
Yeah.
This is good.
And they want it up to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That blew my mind because I remember a year or two ago, the people were advising you not to make it too long.
Right, and they changed the algorithm because they saw that mid-roll ads would be a fantastic way to throw another ad in front of somebody, even if they don't click it or look at it or whatever. It's still there. It's still there. So it's another ad in front of somebody's eyeballs. So the longer, like you probably heard. Well, no, when you and LaShawn do a live stream, y'all do very well. Y'all got a lot of interaction. Y'all are playing off of each other.
Yeah.
You got boom, 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 and all this other stuff going on. So you guys get a lot going on. So for you guys, it's fantastic. That's a great forum for you and LaShawn. Now you guys are going solo pretty soon.
Yeah.
So you have to change the game a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, I can't do live anymore. It doesn't matter.
Turn brown kids getting black.
I can't. They just let me on Facebook.
Yeah, I know. I saw it.
And I'm trying to keep it clean up there. Unless it's a certain time of night where I feel like older people are watching, and then we may loosen it up a little bit. But the main words is F, N word, plus P word.
Yeah.
I believe that. Those are the main words they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Because once I learned from Prime, when they called me in the office to decide if they were going to fire me because of my content, they weren't worried about the F word or the N word. They were worried about the P word.
Yeah.
They said they were more scared of the feminists.
Yeah, they should be.
I said, really?
They'll come and get you.
They said, we are scared of the feminists.
They will,
just the B word and the P word. If you could pull that back, you're golden.
Yeah.
And that blew my mind. I was like, are the feminists that powerful?
Absolutely.
That blows my mind. Now, a question I wanted to ask you, because I didn't watch anybody's channel when I started.
Okay.
What made you start a YouTube?
Okay. It was depression. It was.
Really?
I went into a state of depression because at a year, well, I'll put it like this. I had a girlfriend who died. She died of a drug overdose.
Sorry to hear that.
That was the first part. Okay. And then a year later, my father died of cancer.
Ouch.
And I was a driver. And I came off the road to go be with my mom and my dad during his last month and a half.
Once you got that, though, a lot of people don't even get that.
Yeah. Right.
It's rough.
Yeah, I came off, flew home, because they told us. They told on that information for like a year. He'd been fighting for a year, but didn't even know it. And I came off and said, I'm coming home. I'm going to be there. So I was there, well, and watched him pass away. And for a year, I didn't even realize I was in a state of depression.
Yeah, most people don't.
Right? You just fall down that cycle. And what I realized at about a year mark was I was no longer speaking.
You weren't even talking to people.
I wasn't talking. I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to pick up the phone. I didn't want to look at people. The most interaction I would do was, here's my PO number.
Yeah. Oh, you were OTR during this depression. And and a lot of people don't know that OTR, it almost aids and abets depression.
Absolutely.
Because it gives you the opportunity that
Just
once I get to the place, I close that shit, I'm good. You
just sit in your own brain. So that's why it took me so long to realize that I was jacked up. So I was watching YouTube, and I'm like, I can do that. Now, I wasn't even watching trucking YouTubers. I was just watching some guys who, because I like hot rods and that type of stuff. Like just watching these guys fix cars and paint them and all, doing candy colors and all. So like, all right, well, I mean, you're kind of cool. I can vlog or talk about something. So
yeah.
I picked up a camera. I mean, I picked up my phone and said, well, I got a YouTube channel. So, hi, my name is Joseph Canell. How's it going? And that video's still up. It's my very first video. It just looks horrible.
And during that video, had you realized you were in a depression by then?
Yeah, I had realized it, and I realized I need my voice back because I've lost my voice. I'm not speaking. All these things, and I saw, even if nobody ever watches this, at least I'm talking.
Yeah,
and that's what it was, and it just kept going, and I basically came back. And that was, instead of going on psychotropics or antidepressant pills or going to therapy, it was just getting back out.
Yeah. And
that's why I started doing it.
Have you ever spoken of that on your channel, depression?
Yeah. There is a video, actually it was a couple months ago. It was about depression. There's a video on there.
Because, I mean, I don't think, you dealing with trucking is such a macho career that no one fully understands the percentage of truckers that are depressed. When you see someone who, I mean, me and you are chubby guys, but when you see someone who gets to the part where they just don't care how big they are,
450, 500, just hardly breathing.
That's an obvious sign of depression. Another thing in my stepfather, I learned from my stepfather, is people who always want it dark. They don't want no light around.
Right.
And when you see someone's truck where it's just trash falling out of it, that's a big sign of depression and bad hygiene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you
just don't stop caring.
Yeah, they stop caring. They don't even care that they smell like a trash can at all.
No, they're so in that place that the outside just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. All I care about, and the thing about trucking is a job that once you get good at it, I could be depressed and jacked up, and you still could be a good driver.
It's memory. It's muscle memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could get from here to wherever in this country and not even hardly think about it anymore.
Yeah. I used to think about, I would get a load, and I would think, oh, this is going over this mountain. Yeah. Now, I don't even think of that.
Yeah. I mean, I used to drive it in my brain before I actually did it. I would, if I was coming out of the house and I already knew where I was going, I'd be like, I'd wake up and I've already done it. Like, she's not gonna do it again. That's stupid. Why did I dream about that crap?
Well, that's something new I didn't know about you. When I dealt with my depression, one thing trucking did, it gave me the time to deal with it. Because when something that people have that are home and local or in a job that is a lot of interaction is that they don't have enough time to sort their feelings out anyway.
No.
They'll go 10 years.
They're always on the go. Always something interacting, something social, something like a kid or a wife or a husband.
And if they're not there, it's the job.
There's the job. Gotta go do this, gotta go do this. They got time to be depressed.
Exactly. And on the weekend, they're just trying to lay down and just rest. Yeah. If they don't have a second job. These days, a lot of people have another job. Yeah. So that's a big part of, I think, of trucking that no one is really... That's why I try to be transparent. And in my transparency, I would be passionate. And that's where the profane language would come from. Right. So a person who is looking at it just like, okay, this dude is batshit crazy. But I'm trying to convey the feeling to the person who don't even understand what the feeling is. Because someone, you may start talking about depression and you may hit the signs and they're checking the box. I'm like, hold on, I do that. Am I depressed?
If you got to ask, then you probably are.
There you go. If you look around your cab and you're like, okay,
this place is shit.
I'm trashed.
This place is trash.
I smell bad. I don't care. When is the last time I've been home? No one's called my phone in a week.
Yeah. I had a guy over there in Australia who he said, he sent me a message on Facebook. He says, so what do you do when you just don't give a crap anymore? I said, how long have you been out? I said, about 3 months. I said, bro, you're burnt.
Yeah, you gotta go home.
You gotta go home. I said, when are you supposed to go home? About another 3 weeks now, bro.
No.
You gotta call them up and say, you need to be home in a week.
Yeah, you either need to go home or stop somewhere and just sit.
Because you are burnt. I said, I told him, Tristan, do you realize that you're in depression? I said, I don't think I am. Well, no, if you weren't, you would have said, I'm not depressed. Or you're something. It's either burnout or depression. So you've been gone long enough that you're probably
well into it.
Well into it.
Because I used to stay out 2-3 months.
Yeah, I used to do that too. I'm like,
I thought it was a badge of honor.
Right.
You know,
and then you realize I didn't make any more money than I do. I mean, it's that old crazy formula. I gotta run.
I believe the regime teaches that in school.
Well, sure, you're right. Get in our truck. We're gonna make you some money. We can't let you go home. You're not gonna make any money.
Yeah.
Well, not at this rate, not at this pay. That's no money, no matter what.
I mean, if you follow the pay scale, you're staying out.
Yeah.
Because even the bonuses that you're trying to get, this is from mega carriers.
Yeah.
They even have clauses that there's mile restrictions on some of these mega carriers, fuel bonuses and safety bonuses.
Yeah.
So you'll still lose the safety bonus if you decide to go home. So once you start figuring that out, you're like, okay, well, I've mastered the art of making money, but I've also put myself mentally into a place
You're
where...
damaged.
Did you ever, and this was something that I felt when I was out real rough my first 2 years, did you feel weird interacting with people when you came off of the road?
Yes. I felt we were just driving when I came off the road. you ever get in your car and just go real wide?
Yeah.
Like, why am I doing this? Or just sit at the stop sign and wait? Like, I don't have to sit here and wait. I can actually get in here.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with people. It's like with coming home, because me and Laurel have been together for 5 years, and this is what I do now is basically 7 months of truck driving. I mean, that's basically all I do. But before that, I would come home and I would feel like the interloper, like because they're already in their stages of normalcy.
Yeah.
So every time I walk in the door, it's like, oh, I just interrupted life.
Yeah, because the whole depending on what girlfriend you have, first thing that happens in the girlfriend's psyche when you start going OTR is that, oh, you're leaving. Then it's like, you know what, I'm accepting that you're leaving. Then it's like, I'm used to having the house the way I want it. So when you show back up, you got shoes on the floor, you're here, you stay up to like weird 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
You're on that pattern.
Yeah. And she's like, look, when are you going back on the road?
Everyone hears it. Everyone hears it. Like, I got to go back on the road. She's about to kill me.
Especially if they have kids and the kids have a regiment and stuff like that. And they're like, look, we go to bed at 9, bro. Like, you're just 2 o'clock in the morning watching Steven Seagal movies.
I've been on that night shift for like a month.
Yeah.
I got to stay up. I'm on that pattern. I can't help you.
That's what I'm feeling now. Like, I'm probably going to fall asleep till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And everybody's saying be at the truck show at 10. It's like, bro, I'm just making 1 o'clock in the afternoon, man.
Right.
So I still have to do that. And then once the truck show's over, LaShawn sucks at night shift, is you got to run the night to Utah.
So you want to keep your pattern. And that's what I would do. You want to keep the pattern because that's what your brain and your cycle's used to.
Exactly.
And you've been on that pattern for months now.
Yeah.
So that's your pattern.
I did 8 months of night shift in the oil field. 8 flat months, 7 days a week, no stop.
Yeah.
And when I got out of the oil field, I said, I would never go back. Right. Because the oil field is good money, but it's a terrible life.
Up there, I didn't go home for 3 months at a time. I'd stay up there on the wells, man. I'd be on the wells.
I mean, yeah. Do you notice the fact that you're not even seeing colors? That's what I noticed when I was in the oil field in Pennsylvania. Everything I see is a mud
gray.
Yes, everything's gray. And then when I left there, I went to Georgia, and just the colors,
plush, like
the buildings,
greenish of green,
yes,
reddish of red,
yellow.
That is a gray, dark area. It just is.
The people in Pennsylvania, I tell people all the time, I don't care what you say about the South. Mm-hmm. And according to race or religion discrimination, the most hotbed of discrimination and meanness is Pennsylvania. I've never been treated worse, not as a black man, as a person.
Right.
Then just talking to them how dark they are.
Yeah.
They never see the sun.
No.
I hardly seen the sun in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they're coal workers, steel mill workers, hard people who grew up hard, had a hard life, and all their crap has been taken away from by corporate economy, selling off this. Okay, it's no longer profitable here. We don't care about you 500 people in this town. We're getting rid of it. We got to go. And so it's a huge, is it welfare? Yeah, it would be welfare up there. Huge welfare section of the states. Massive. And then you go into West Virginia where all these guys have got black lung and all this other things that have just jacked them up over the years. They're on like a Social Security.
Heavy drinkers.
Oh, massive. And they're just pissed off. We were shot at.
Really?
Oh, yeah. We were shot at like 3 times. I mean, we had a guy who didn't get a contract for a well come over to the line of the well where he couldn't go any further. He said, if I see any of you damn trucks on my property, I'm going to shoot you. And he was serious. And they're like, and nobody said he's playing. It's because he wasn't playing. Because he knew what was happening.
Yeah.
They were fracking sideways. They were stealing out from underneath his land because he didn't own the rights.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's the regime.
Yeah.
And when I go on my regime tangents,
I know.
people say, you're just crazy. But am I, though?
No, you're not.
What's crazy is the fact that the PR, the propaganda from corporate is so Disney that in their mind they think a corporate company wouldn't do that. They wouldn't?
Come on now.
These are the same people who are putting crazy stuff in your food.
I was asked earlier today in an interview, what is the biggest problem in trucking? I said trucking is built on lies. This whole industry is built on a lie.
Do you know the 3 lies they're built on?
3, well, I'll tell you the lies. One is greed. There's going to be greed. It's always greed.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts at the beginning. So when I made that video, the lie starts at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And it's basically somebody who's out there trying to get into the industry, doesn't know anything, but looking for an out of their situation. And a recruiter walks in the door and says, you're going to get this.
First lie.
First lie. And they don't get any of that. And they leave in 3 months. You know, they waste $5,000 to $6,000 to $12,000 to go get trained, come in the industry with that bar sitting mentally right here. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, none of this is happening. Everything they ever told me is just...
It's not true.
It's not true.
All the way down to I remember C.R. England's, they said, you can't never get a square front truck because square front trucks don't make money. They said that you see a guy out there with a Peterbilt, he's old school and he's probably running his business into the ground because they're terrible at gas. I believe this. I took that in hook, line, sinker.
Okay.
To the point where I would say, you're stupid. Okay?
There you go.
With your stretch cat and your stretch this because you're not making any money. Not thinking he wouldn't even have the truck if he wasn't making money. Then you find out as you stay in it longer, all the people who are making money have the right and ability to even purchase those trucks.
Right.
So those are the people who are making money.
Yeah, they're fine. Every day.
The people in the snub nose make a carry stamp on the side are the broke people.
All day long.
And I thought, if it's an old truck, they're not making any money. My father laughed at me. He said, the dude with the oldest looking truck at the truck stop makes the most money.
You know what I would buy right now? A $15,000 Freightliner and just go rag it out till it died. And I'd make a killing in it. I'd take it right down there to West Texas and make a killing in it.
Oh, that's crazy because I got a Freightliner and they told me that I pretty much killed the Pope. Like, that truck's too old. It's you're gonna lose all your money.
Watch me make money with that piece of shit.
That's
all day long.
Crazy. Because these guys go and they say, well, you know, they look at buying a truck like a car.
Are you crazy? It's a tool.
Oh, it has over 200,000 miles on it.
Okay.
Are you serious?
I'll go put another 800 on. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. I'm at 658, and the only thing I've changed on it is a clutch, which isn't brake. That's maintenance.
Yeah.
and tires.
Sure.
I didn't check to see if there were recaps.
Yeah.
That one little thing cost me $5,000.
Sure.
Because I had to play. I've replaced every tire on the truck.
Yeah, and the re-rubber all the way around.
And it's like, I didn't bring my father down there, which he informed me that's where you messed up. Number two, he says, why didn't you check the clutch? Well, I don't have to drop the engine. He said, you don't have to drop the engine because that has a self-adjusting clutch, and it has a meter that if you know what you're doing, you can check it. Sure enough, they pulled the clutch off, and right there was this meter, and the line was already at the bottom.
Yep.
And he said, if this broke down within a month, I mean, you could have looked at this and told, and I could have been like, put a new clutch on.
Right, before you signed paper.
That was $1,500.
Yeah.
And now, right now, the only thing wrong with my truck, I need to start it.
Yeah.
And I don't even think I need it. I can kind of, you kind of feel like.
Take the hammer and knock crap out of it. It'll be fine.
That's what I'm thinking. So I told my dad, I'm going to get another one. He says, it's still starting? He was like, no. He says, wait till it stops.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Just pop it.
Don't you want a preemptive, because I'm trying to overthink it.
Right.
Maybe if I did a strategize, screw it. If it works, use it.
Yeah.
To the end. Truckers improvise.
Till it absolutely dies. You got nothing else. You can get nothing else out of it. Because everything costs you money. Everything on a truck costs you money. Everything. So if it's not dead yet,
it's still good.
MacGyver it.
MacGyver
the crap out of it. If it takes a hammer to knock the crap out of it and get it started, knock the crap out of it every damn morning.
This is a question I love to ask the, excuse my French, the white trucker.
Good. I'm apparently white.
Yeah. You're white.
I could probably answer this.
You probably can answer this. Tell me why y'all obsess over a 379 Peterbilt. It is the most annoying thing in the world. I hate it. I probably would like that truck, but I don't like it because the way y'all obsess about it.
I don't obsess. Well, okay. People ask me all the time, what kind of trucks do you like? Now, I like, because I've driven so many of them, that I like a mixture of trucks. Mm-hmm. Now, I drove a 379 for 2 years for Werner, and it looks good, but I ain't living in another damn 379.
Thank you.
I'm a big boy. I mean, I drove a T600. I'm like, no more of these. No more 379. I mean, if I can do this, and I can reach my door, I can't get my fat ass through there. I did for 2 years. It looked good. Yeah. That's it.
The actual logistics of it is terrible.
Oh, it's horrible. And I ran that 379 on a Family Dollar and a Dollar General account. I'm out there killing myself trying to get into these stupid little things.
That turn radius?
That turn radius is a nightmare. I told him, I'm going to have to give this truck up, give me a Freightliner. No, you can. If you can't do it in a 379, we don't need you on the account.
See, that's that macho crap.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And people say that all the time. I want a Peterbilt 379. What are you trying to do? Show me your nuts? That's
it.
I don't need to see that.
That is literally all they're trying to do.
That's exactly.
And don't get me wrong. First of all, I could get a 379 because I'm in flatbed. I don't have to back into anything.
Right.
That's what people don't understand. You're using. I heard a guy. He's driving. I remember he used to be in YTTA. I won't call his name out. He pretty much is a dry van person.
Okay.
He goes to buy a used truck. He has the biggest cat motor you can put it in. 16 liter. It's an 18 speed. Has a low range rear.
Why?
And I'm thinking to myself, you're a dry van.
You're not heavy hauling.
And this is the thing. They use it as a badge of honor to the point to where you're making a decision that don't make sense.
No. You're like you said, you're dry van. You're bumping docks. You don't need all the loads.
You could have a 10-speed, 13-liter, a Volvo.
Yeah, take a Volvo.
And pull every single mountain.
All day long.
But you can't go up the mountain 50 miles an hour.
Okay.
And I say you're not supposed to be going up the mountain 50 miles an hour. That's ridiculous. You're literally spending more money to do something that you shouldn't do.
Ego in this industry is rampant. All day long. Look at me. It's that look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. I will waste an extra $65,000 just so you'll look at me. Not that it made any sense. Don't care. Look at my truck. Look what I did. Okay, well go spend another extra $65,000.
How much money do you think
it's almost like a drug question, but how much money do you think is wasted on the addiction of chrome and drugs?
Come on, it's half the cost of the truck. I mean, well, okay. What was I looking at the other day? 2014 Freightliner Cascadia, $45,000. What's the cost of chrome? Bumper. From 1,000 up to 3,000.
Depending on how good a one you get.
Right. If it's all nice and lasered out.
Lip at the top's 300.
Yeah.
The unpractical shift stick. That's 300. The new wheel, 300. I mean, they 300 you to death.
They just kill you left and right.
The buttons,
the LEDs, the switches, the diamond plate.
Well, Sean spent $1,800 on wrapping. On wrapping.
So you got a $40,000 to $42,000 truck. If you bling it all out, so you're probably adding another
$10,000 at least.
At least.
By the time you're done, Woody's truck.
Woody's truck. You could have $10,000 right off the bill of that truck by not chroming it out. It's a tool. It's to be used to make you money.
And that's what I never understood. When people used to get on me about how dirty my truck is, I used to tell them I don't care how clean it is.
I didn't wash my truck until last week. It's been dirty for like 2.5 months.
Me too. And I thought I was coming here.
Yeah.
So I washed it.
Thor got on to me. Mr. Custom Truck Thor got on me.
Yeah.
This is the first time in 2 months, bro. Thor like, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I could care less. I'm working.
There you go.
That's it.
Only thing that matters is, well, if you're going to get... One thing I did get a contract... I did get looked at more from a person who had an available contract because I cleaned my truck before I went to Reno. Or was it Reno? I think it was Reno. And that kind of made me say, okay, that makes sense. But at the same time, I'm still from the old school where I go on merit. Mm-hmm. I'm a day early. Even in mega carrier tight loads, I was a day early. I'm methodical. I'm always on time. If I'm not on time, my whole life just fell apart. I'm one of them people where I can't talk to nobody. Yeah, like, how did I end up late? You know what? It's because of this. So I'm always on time. And I used to think, and this is another lie, I thought that if I'm always on time in a mega carrier, and I know some of you rookies are watching this and thinking this, well, I'm on time all the time, maybe I should get good loads. I swear, that is not the determining factor if your DM's going to get you good loads.
No.
Is if he likes you.
I had a fantastic record with Snyder. I had a always on time, pick up, deliver, early guy. I'm the guy you call to get it done. Right? I'm the runner. I'm that guy. I'll get it done. I get pulled into Snyder down there in Charlotte, and there's a report card sitting there saying that I suck at my job. Literally sat me in the office, my DM sat me down and said, there's a lot of issues here. I'm like, did you just pull me off the road to tell me that I'm bad at my job? After all the shit that I've been through and done for you? Don't you ever pull me back in here for this.
And what was the problem? It probably
fuel.
was the fuel.